My name is Dr. Iram Sattar, and I am a GP. I have been a doctor for over 20 years. I'm also a trustee at Muslim Women's Network UK. I know some people are hesitant and worried about taking the coronavirus vaccines and have valid questions. I understand why people are worried with so much information and misinformation out there. In this short video, I will explain why I think people should have the vaccine. I want you to know that I am an analytical and risk-averse person, and I did a lot of research and reading before I made the decision because I also had questions just like you. The short answer is that I've had my COVID vaccine already, the Pfizer-BioNTech one on the 22nd of December, and I want my mum and dad to have it as soon as they can. For me to think it's safe for my mum and dad means I really do think it's safe, because they are the most important people in the world to me. I'm now going to address some of the questions you may have about the vaccine. Are the coronavirus vaccines safe to take? Yes, they are. Any vaccine that is made goes through a vigorous, strict, scientific testing process, and the coronavirus vaccines are no different. Yes, it has been done much faster than usual, but that's because so many of the world's scientists are all working on this one thing. And the two biggest obstacles that slow down vaccine development, funding and recruiting volunteers for testing, weren't a problem this time because the whole world's attention is on COVID. Are the new mRNA vaccines, that's the Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna one, safe? And will they alter my DNA? For the same reasons I've just outlined, yes, mRNA vaccines are safe. They have gone through the same rigorous testing. Yes, mRNA vaccines are a newer technique, but the woman who pioneered them, Dr. Caitlin Carrico, who now works for BioNTech, has been working on mRNA for over 40 years. And no, mRNA does not alter your DNA. They are two different things. mRNA is just a piece of code that tells your body to make a protein and then it disintegrates and disappears. In the COVID vaccines, mRNA tells the body to make the spike protein which is found on the surface of the virus, so that the body's immune system can learn to recognize and fight it off. Are there any risks of having the coronavirus vaccine? There's always a risk to anything in life, even taking paracetamol or crossing the road. So the real question is, do the risks outweigh the benefits? And the answer is that the benefits overwhelmingly outweigh the risks. Vaccines aren't a new thing. They've been around for hundreds of years. We know a lot about how they work, their side effects, and how the immune system works. The risks from COVID vaccines are minimal compared to the risks of not controlling this awful pandemic. You already know the damage this virus has done to families, livelihoods, and economies. 1.8 million people have sadly died worldwide. The chance of having a serious side effect from a UK-approved COVID vaccine is far, far smaller than the risk of catching COVID and being ill from it, and 1 in 10 people who have COVID get long COVID, which means they still have symptoms 12 weeks later. Could a microchip be inserted when I have the vaccine? No. Think about it. For a microchip to be put into each vaccine, that would mean many, many people working together and conspiring together to chip the world's population, i.e. all the researchers, scientists who designed all the different vaccines, or the manufacturers who made the vaccine, and the regulators who approved the vaccine. So it's just not feasible, it's not doable. My final point is, we are at a time in the pandemic where it is even more vitally important that as many people get vaccinated as quickly as we can. I can't stress this enough. The new variant is about 50% more transmissible, which means it spreads more easily than the old one. Put it this way, during the November lockdown, the old variant dropped by a third, but the new variant tripled. Yes, tripled. It's very scary. New variants occur when viruses mutate, and all viruses mutate. It's a natural way they evolve. Viruses mutate when they replicate, and they can only replicate inside a host. And for a COVID, that means inside a human. So the more the COVID spreads in humans, the more chance it has to replicate and mutate. Scientists and doctors are confident that the current COVID vaccines will still work against the new variant. However, if the virus mutates more, which it will as it continues to spread, the current vaccine may not work, and we would be at the start of the pandemic all over again, where it would take several months to make and test a new vaccine. And for those Those who've already had old COVID, they could catch the new COVID all over again, just like flu, every year. Imagine that. Imagine reliving 2020 on repeat. Unfortunately, UK research in December showed that 57% of people from Black, Asian and minority ethnic backgrounds were likely to accept a COVID vaccine compared to 79% of the white population. And we already know that people from Black and Asian backgrounds are more likely to die from COVID than the white population. Sadly, both these facts are not surprising. We know that Black, Asian, minority ethnic groups trust the NHS and the government less because of the things that have happened to them or people they know. We strongly believe that having the COVID vaccine is essential for us as individuals, as families, and as communities. If we don't, more people will die. As the Quran says, whoever saves a life, it will be as if they saved all of humanity. So let's just not read the Quran, but let's live it too. Please have the vaccine when you're offered. Start conversations with your families and loved ones to answer their genuine concerns. And spread this video as widely as you can. Thank you.